And here we go. Green flag in Las Vegas.
Already a huge push out of the 5 car. Kyle Larson and Kevin Harvick got to the lead.
4 wide midfield. Look at this.
That's what we've come to expect at this racetrack, Mike, in that first corner. Guys already taking risks.
And also, you said it right there. Very risky. You have no idea what to expect with these race cars.
3
no
wide.
Practice.
3 wide. Are you kidding me?
Power move to the bottom by Elliott, but he's got company. Triple wide. William Byron led the last lap last week. He leads the first lap this week.
You think this is the last lap, not the first lap.
Wow. Kevin Harvick, he's not wanting to be in the middle right here. I can promise you that.
A lot of bumps through the center down there, 1 and 2. Upset the car, the 4 car of Kevin Harvick right there.
And Jeff, you said it, this 19 car is already looking very strong. So hard to trust your car going off into that first corner. No practice, no nothing. Man, I hope this thing's not too loose.
Man, he's odds-on favorite, and here's why. He runs so good at this racetrack, already moving himself to second. Mark Truex Jr.
Help coming for Truex in the form of Denny Hamlin. His teammate, Byron up top to cover, back down to the bottom to pick up his teammate, Kyle Larson.
Michael McDowell is the real deal, guys.
That yellow car of McDowell, that Ford, hanging right with the leaders.
Well, and Michael Waltrip talked about these overcast skies, cooler temperatures, a lot of grip in the racetrack. We've been able to see the 5 of Kyle Larson and the 19 Truex stay side by side the last 2 laps.
Definitely a lot of trust in the race cars.
Back at 4th place, Christopher Bell's had an impressive run. Jamie?
Yes, he's made his way from 16th already, the best Gibbs car so far. He told me before the race he loves this track. He's run well here in trucks and Xfinity, and he loves that you can move around and you just stand on the gas. It's much to his liking and his driving style. He's just a little loose. They tighten him up. He's happy where he is.
This battle's not over yet. I can't get over how hard it is to maintain the lead. I thought for sure Brad Keselowski, when he had the lead, he's going to pull away from Chase Elliott. Not the case at all.
And they've actually swapped. He kept trying him on the bottom, kept trying him on the bottom. We saw him get tight off of 4 and have to bail out of the gas, running out of real estate. Now he's got to the outside. Sooner or later it'll wear him down.
Jamie?
I actually talked to Brad this morning about today's race, and he said because of the way the cars are this year and the rules, he said it's going to be harder to protect the lead than years past. So he predicted this, and that's exactly what's happening.
No kidding. And let me quantify why we are so incredulous about the quality of racing we're seeing today.
Wait a minute. What did you say?
Yeah.
If I said dumbfounded, would that help?
Way better.
Thank you.
I understand now.
All right.
Bet, keep it down to our level.
You got to dumb it down a little bit for me, Mike.
I'm kidding. In September, the whole race, 267 laps, 20 lead changes. Today, 74 laps in, we've had 11 already, more than half of what we had in the whole race here last fall.
Incredible, the race that we've seen so far.
You know, we're learning that 5 car stayed out. If there's one that's wishing they probably didn't, it's them of the 5 bunch. But you got to learn that, and this is a good time to learn it early in a race like this.
I love all these cameras we've got on this 48 car with Alex Bowman. Roof cam, visor cam, bumper cam.
Watch this when he goes into the corner. See where he runs right here. It gets very rough and you go over the tunnel.
Bam, bam.
And it's exactly like that too. Very violent in a car. Feels extremely rigid. Bam, bam is exactly a good term for that, because that's what it feels like. This thing is, you got 4x4s in this thing for suspension. It feels like.
I'm not hearing much throttle lift. I know that.
6th place, William Byron coming back toward the front, chasing Christopher Bell. By the way, we had penalties on that last caution on pit stops. Safety violation for Chase Briscoe. Daniel Suarez, his crew was over the wall too soon. And Bubba Wallace, who has some damage under hood, pitted too soon. So they all restarted at the back. There's Bubba with that camo paint job that he helped the Columbia folks design for that car.
These guys are getting after it for the lead.
And I see Brad Keselowski likes to move up top, get that momentum off the corner, get a big run, and use the draft on Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott stuck to the bottom.
And you see, he could have moved up right there and blocked, but he didn't because he wanted to stay on the bottom. Gave him that outside line. Well, I think he's going to clear him here. He gone. Two to the lead.
And he had a slower car that affected the air to the car of the 9 car of Chase Elliott as he was wanting to run that bottom lane.
He had been wearing him down for a while, but wow, stage end right there on the final lap. That's impressive for both of those guys holding on, going for that stage point. That tells you how important those stage points are, and moreover, those wins, stage wins.
Last lap of stage 1. Keselowski up by 4/10. Elliott second. Blaney, Hamlin, Bowman, the top 5. And your stage 1 winner, Brad Keselowski. Last time by, William Byron was quickest. Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, Alex Bowman, and Ricky Stenhouse, all of whom have newer tires, I think, than Kyle Larson, or just about the same as Kyle Larson, who's our race leader over Brad Keselowski, with 8 laps to go in stage 2. Now, before pit stops, Kyle Larson had a 6/10 of a second lead. And once we've cycled through green flag stops, his lead now 5 full seconds over Brad Keselowski. Biggest lead of the day.
Yeah, when all these restarts, and that was our first time we had a green flag pit stop, and it seems like you're just able to break the draft, and once you can break the draft, then you can maybe pull away. But as soon as this stage is in and that caution comes out again, they're going to stack right back up and not be able to get away from one another.
Absolutely. The other thing that I've seen Kyle Larson do, he's moving around. He's finally found the outside of that racetrack, really widen this place up and finding some lap time.
Caution-free stage 2 so far with 7 laps to go. Comers and goers, and one of the goers is Joey Logano, who is now back at 14th position.
If I run a bottom, it gets free, get down in, and then as I get to the 2/3, it starts to 4-wheel drift. When I run up, I just 4-wheel drift.
So that 2/3, that's 2/3 of the way through the corner. They break that corner down into different sections, quarter, half, 2/3, however you want to do it. Every driver does it a little bit different. So obviously that's a way to give information back to the crew chief to help them try to make adjustments.
You sound
totally
like me
different
trying to tell
racetracks.
some. A quarter in and a 2/3 off.
Two
ahead,
totally
Larry,
different tracks, but almost the same scenario as last week. Up there, first stage, half the stage 2, and then started fading. Talking about Joey Logano.
Yeah, that's a good point. And, this track also starting to lay down more rubber. It sounded to me from listening to Joey Logano, they're looking for grip, right? It's loose in, it's a 4-wheel drift up off the corner. And I'm looking at this racetrack, it's definitely laid down more rubber. The groove's widened out a lot more.
Kind of went back to what I was talking about with the leader and Kyle Larson. I saw him move up, widen this racetrack out where he's not pulling on the wheel as much. That doesn't create all that 4-wheel slide and stuff like that.
And in stage 1, the sun kept playing peekaboo with the clouds. Not so much sun here as we get late in the second stage.
Yeah, it seems to be just kind of an overcasty, just kind of hanging in there, consistent right now.
Kevin Harvick back at 16th, Ryan Preece 15th, and on the left is the Stewart-Haas running order.
I'm shocked.
Yes.
I'm shocked, not just by Kevin Harvick. I mean, we've seen him separate himself from his teammates and be able to be kind of the charger and the guy that leads laps and sets the bar for Stewart-Haas Racing. But all the Stewart-Haas cars are really struggling, Clint.
This track always seemed to be one of those for us. When I was in that car, it was hit or miss. We'd come one year and it could never seem to get consistent and find the balance that I needed. But those Fords are going to be, you can't keep a team like that down. They're going to figure it out. It's early in the season. You're going to go back to work. We always say when you come back from the West Coast, you reevaluate where you're at. They're doing some evaluating today for sure.
Kyle Larson has led more laps today than in his previous 9 Las Vegas races combined.
Well, we were all curious, what would Kyle Larson do when he gets into some Hendrick Motorsports equipment? He's certainly shown it here today.
Odds-on favorite to win the race is the Stage 2 winner, whoever it is. Now, Kyle Larson does not have a victory in the Cup Series on a 1.5 mile track. He's finished second on these size tracks 9 times.
Yet.
Yeah. Green and white checkered flag for Kyle Larson. He is your Stage 2 winner.
A lot of traffic here for our leader. You know, this is that moment. You're coming 7 to go, and you're just watching every car in front of you, trying to pick and choose your line, trying to make sure there's no vibrations, no cautions. You just don't want cautions. And then behind you, those guys are praying for a caution because they know that would completely change how this race could end.
Well, the best thing that Kyle Larson has is that 3.3 seconds in the bank on the second place car of Brad Keselowski. He can take a little more time working his way through these lap cars.
The other thing I see, though, and it always lends itself to caution, is this sun's back out. The track's going to be slicker. They're going to be slipping, sliding around in this traffic, heavy traffic like you're talking about. This is that opportunity for that caution that we're talking.
Yeah.
6 to go.
And then I'd say, what caused that left rear tire to go down for Alex Bowman? Is there a piece of debris out there?
Guys, the trend ship has sailed. I gave up on trends this week, but I will say both Las Vegas races last year, we had a caution in the last 10 laps.
Ooh. Oh, boy.
So I'm saying there's a chance.
This graphics, we talked about this in the Daytona 500. The colors were different, but the graphic scheme that's been chosen for Kyle Larson's car, very reminiscent of what adorned the truck and the Busch Series car of Ricky Hendrick. Looks in these colors, looks just like it.
Identical. Yeah.
What a wonderful tribute.
Not only that, I mean, the history of this 5 car going back to the beginning of Hendrick Motorsports. First car number was the number 5. So you take those 2 combinations, and I can tell you the paint scheme on this car, the sponsor in this car, and the number on the side, and then adding Kyle Larson to the driver's seat. A lot of emotion in this race car for Rick Hendrick.
It's an oft-told story. Car dealer Rick Hendrick came in NASCAR, asked so many questions that NASCAR wondered, what was he trying to start a rival race series? Was he trying to take over? What? Asked so many questions and formed his own race team with Harry Hyde. They ran some races, and they were 1 race away from shutting down for lack of funds, and Jeff Bodine won that race at Martinsville, and Hendrick Motorsports was off and running. And the rest, as they say, is history still in the making.
Man, these guys are right on the fence in 3 and 4. 1 and 2, not so much, but I mean on the fence in 3 and 4.
Now Larson sliced his way through that lap traffic without even losing a 10th to Keselowski, who has 3 seconds on Kyle Busch in 3rd. Starter has the white flag in hand.
And if you're that leader, just get around there, hurry. That's all you can think about is getting over there to that line.
And here it comes. White flag, 1 lap to go. Brad 3.2 back, and Kyle Busch, that is, 6.2 back. Hamlin and Blaney, the top 5. Going to shake up the points. Going to put Hamlin to the top, Keselowski, and then Larson, as Kyle Larson wins Las Vegas.
Such an awesome race car. Cliff and everybody did a great job preparing this piece. It was so much fun to drive. I could go wherever I wanted to. So I knew I had a really good car once we kind of get single filed out, but just drafting early in the run was tough. But thank you so much, Mr. H, Jeff Gordon, everybody at Hendrick Motorsports. for the amazing opportunity I've been gifted. So HendrickCars.com, Chevrolet, everybody at the engine shop, thank you so much for the hard work. This is definitely special.